Hello, welcome back to Stories with Coach Sujata. A king and his faithful servant always used to have an argument. Now, the faithful servant constantly said, God is great, God is perfect. Whatever he does for a reason. So there are no accidents. Everything is already decided by God. And the king would say, I don't agree with you. I don't think God does everything with precision, with perfection. There are some faults in God as well. You shouldn't say that. So one day, the king and his faithful servant went for a hunt. And in the hunt, a wild boar suddenly attacked the king and caught hold of him. But the servant, the valiant servant, actually risked his life and saved the king. But in this process, the king lost his finger, one of his fingers. So the king was furious. He came back to his faithful servant, and despite the fact that the servant had actually saved his life, all of that notwithstanding, he threw the servant in jail and said, You are wrong. God is not perfect. There are accidents. Not everything is already predetermined. And he was really upset. After a few months, the king resumed his regular duties and his regular adventures, and he went back for another hunt. And what would happen in the hunt? Lo and behold, he was captured by cannibals. Those cannibals wanted to sacrifice him to their mother goddess and then have him for their lunch. So they started dressing him. After capturing him, they started anointing him, getting him ready for the actual big sacrifice. And when they were doing this, they suddenly noticed that one of the king's fingers was missing. So he was considered as incomplete. He was not complete. And so the cannibals let him go. The king did not know what had hit him. In this near-death exercise, in this near-death experience, he kept thinking of the kind of words that his faithful servant would always utter, saying that God is perfect. God does not err. Everything that God does is for a reason. And he went running back to his kingdom. He released his faithful servant, apologized, and gave him plenty and plenty of gold and silver and money with his apologies. But the king, being him, came back saying, I do understand your faith. I do understand your belief. But then, if God were so perfect and if there were no accidents, how come God put you in this prison for 3 months? You tell me that. The servant smiled, saying, Isn't God perfect? My sire, if I had not been in jail, I would have accompanied you to that hunt. I would have been captured by those very cannibals. And I am complete. My finger's not missing. So let's remember this. There are small things that happen in our lives. Sometimes bigger things happen in our life. There could be accidents, there could be job losses, there could be some things that are not up to our expectations in our day-to-day life, in our work, in our career, in our professional lives, in our personal lives, in our relationships, in the kind of wealth that we want to generate, in the material comforts that we expect. But always, let's remember that finger that saved the king's life. Let's remember that there are no accidents. God is perfect. What he has thought for us is always perfect. It's not just like that they have this saying that says, man proposes, God disposes. So if you take a particular decision, or if you're thinking of something, and as fate would have it, or as God would will it, it doesn't happen, do not despair too much. Always go back to that particular story, this wonderful story that helps us all remind ourselves again that yes, there are no accidents. Maybe there is a particular reason for this particular job not being completed as per our expectation. So, with this, I'd like to say goodbye. Do stay in touch, like, subscribe, and share my channel for many, many more stories with Coach Sujata. Bye-bye.